Hi, I'm Joan, and my story proves that there's no such thing as female friendship. Sad thing is, my mom long told me that a girl's best friend and only friend, besides diamonds, is her pillow. And I, being a naive little girl, disagreed with her. I first met Alice and Doris when we all studied in the 5th grade. We weren't childhood friends. We never slept in the same bed when we were toddlers or whatever. Still, I was sure that we were extremely close to one another. My story starts when my parents got transferred to the sleepy little town for work. Dad was just the specialist that the local plant needed, so our whole family moved together with him. It wasn't easy to leave the capital and move to the middle of nowhere, yet I had no other options. At first, I was quite shocked by country life. You see, I was the urban girl and have never even imagined that one day I would have to move to the countryside. There, they had dogs walking the streets without muzzles. Can you believe that? And the farms themselves were literally stuff of my nightmares. Well, in a week or two, I did kind of get used to my new life and no longer fainted at the mere sight of a spider. Well, yeah, the town itself was dreadfully boring. There wasn't even a single decent shopping mall, to say the least. Yet we got really lucky with our new house. It was huge, warm, and full of light. I even had a balcony of my own. And not only that, Mom and Dad actually gave me 3 whole rooms. I've got my own bedroom, playroom, and dressing room. Just imagine 3 rooms, and they're all mine. Fantastic. Besides, I even became the immediate authority for the local kids. Everyone knew that I moved from the capital, and local girls instantly sieged me with multiple questions about makeup and fashion and all that stuff. Local guys also took an interest in me. Still, I was only 12 and not at all interested in dating anyone, so I just gifted them my old comic books. For them, it was a real treasure. And there were 2 girls who soon became my very best friends. Alice was the daughter of our immediate neighbors. Her mom was a really good cook. Doris sat next to me at school and always helped me with my homework. 3 of us soon became inseparable. We had a lot of slumber parties that were usually conducted at my place. After all, I had 3 whole rooms at my disposal, and even a TV of my very own. And when we got older, we ended up racking up a lot of secrets known only to the 3 of us. We even made a special secret handshake of our own. Alice, Doris, and I were the coolest girls in the whole school. We trusted each other completely and had no secrets from one another. For example, I knew that Alice loved a boy and had a first kiss with him, and that Doris stole our tests from the teacher because she was afraid to fail. I knew everything, and I never told anything to anyone else, just like a real friend should do. And then I had a secret of my very own, a pretty serious secret to boot. You see, my bust wasn't getting any larger, and the girls in our class already grew up and wore bras, and I was a very unlucky exception. I bet they'd even take me for a boy at the beach if I cut my hair. My mom told me that I was just slender and that I had to wait for my body to fully grow up. Yet the whole situation was super unfair. You see, the other girls started to notice my problem, and I didn't want to become an outsider. So I took a pair of my dad's socks. I bought a nice, large bra, and I padded those socks in and passed that construction for a bust of my very own. Nobody knew the truth except Alice and Doris. I'd been using the sock trick for about a week at this point when suddenly all the other girls started laughing at me. They pointed fingers at me and laughed a lot behind my back. At first, I thought that maybe something was wrong with my clothes or my makeup. But then that one main hoodlum of our school just came to me during break and yanked the bra strap. So naturally, the bra popped open and socks fell out. All who saw that burst out laughing. Even the teachers couldn't help themselves. And the worst thing was that both of my friends laughed as well and gave each other high fives. I was really offended by that. Still, we reconciled later on. At the time, I didn't think that it was they who had given up my secret. Yet, I just couldn't fully trust them anymore. After all, they still laughed at me. Real friends would never have done that. Soon, though, I realized that each of my secrets somehow turned out to be public knowledge. Somehow, everyone knew that I had cheated on the math exam, and a high school student dumped me, and that I posted fake photos on Instagram because my family couldn't afford a trip to the seaside that year. In that moment, I was fairly sure that those girls had betrayed me. More than half of my secrets were known only to those two, so I decided to have a talk with them. Funny enough, Alice and Doris didn't deny anything. They just admitted that it was them who leaked all my private information to both my classmates and the teachers. They had told me that I betrayed them first, and that they had their sweet revenge. Of course, after that, we could no longer be friends. Besides, I had to switch schools. The kids at my old school just made me their laughingstock, and I could no longer put up with it. And that's how I learned that there was no such thing as girl friendship.
Hi all, I'm Alice, and I write on behalf of both Doris and me. I'm not going to absolve us. Yeah, it was us who leaked Joan's secrets to classmates and teachers. Yet, we had a very good reason to do so. When Joan moved to our city, both of us were quite glad. For me in particular, a friendship with Joan was literally a godsend. You see, I'm quite a shy girl, and it was really nice to become friends with a funny and loud city girl. It was Joan who introduced me to Doris, and it was her who taught me that you didn't need to go out of your way to be fun or popular. You could just be yourself and feel good about it. Last but not least, Joan made the funniest parties. When the three of us were kids, we were really close. Still, even then, I liked Doris more than I liked Joan. Doris always felt much more true to herself. Still, the three of us were closely linked, and we believed that we would stay friends forever. But at some point, we somehow managed to split up. Doris and I began to communicate more, and more often in private, and I'm pretty sure that Joan never noticed that. Even now, I don't really know the reasons of that split. Guess Doris and I just had too much in common. After all, we were both born in the same town, and Joan was still very much a city girl. Despite that, we still continued to communicate with Joan, and the three of us had no secrets from each other. Well, I did entrust the greatest of my secrets only to Doris, yet still Joan knew almost everything about us. But at one point, I noticed that someone was leaking my secrets to my classmates. The girls in my class somehow managed to get all my information I didn't really want to give to them. The details about my affair with a high school student was just the most prominent example. I actually tried to date that boy. We met several times, and he was the one whom I had my first kiss with. Of course, I told Doris and Joan everything about that. I was expecting advice or something. But instead of that, our classmates somehow got wind of my affair. After that were several similar incidents. Twice or three times, Doris and I entrusted some of our secrets to Joan, and in a day the whole class knew everything. And then there was the time when Doris stole our tests from the teacher. Somehow the teacher recognized Doris as a culprit. There'd been a lot of commotion. We were made to pass the test once more. Yet with great pains, Doris's parents managed to play down the issue. But after that, an honor student from our class, the one who wasn't our friend by any means, told me and Doris that it was Joan who turned us in. Joan wanted to get a good grade and rat us out because of that. The city girl turned out to be the worst sort of a betrayer. I made some inquiries, and each and every one of our classmates confirmed my doubts. It was Joan who gave up all of our secrets, just because she could. She didn't do that because of spite. She didn't do that because of envy. Apparently, she just refused to keep our secrets because she considered them unimportant. When I told Doris about that, she was hysterical, and so we decided to have our revenge. Joan had a number of secrets of her own. We kept them before because the three of us were friends. But now, when she violated our trust, we just gave them all up in return. What a laugh it was when our main bully pulled off her bra in public. We tried to pretend that we sympathized, yet still couldn't resist laughing like crazy. Guess we just didn't have any sympathy at all left. Not after what Joan had done to us before. Funny enough, Joan blamed both of us for not being able to maintain friendship. She was the one who betrayed us. She was the one who got Doris into trouble. And now she blamed us for being bad friends? We didn't even answer her, just turned around and left. Our revenge was just. Yep, we made Joan switch schools. She suffered a lot because of us, yet we still don't pity her. I really hope that she'll understand that gossiping about friends isn't that fun. After all, your friends can always play this game. What do you think about this story? What is your opinion on Joan, Alice, and Doris? What would you do if you were one of those girls? Leave some likes, subscribe to our channel, and share the video with your friends.